We hear the term processed food all the time, usually with a warning. It's become almost a buzzword, often used to describe foods we should avoid. But what does processed really mean? And is it always something negative? The answer might surprise you, but is every food that's been changed from its natural state bad for us? The reality is, processing is a broad term that covers a huge range of foods and techniques. From simple steps like freezing vegetables to more complex methods like making breakfast cereals, processing can look very different depending on the food. The truth is, most of what we eat is processed in some way. Even washing or chopping counts. When you rinse lettuce or slice an apple, you're technically processing it. These basic steps help make food safer and more convenient to eat. Processing can make food safer, last longer, or easier to use. Pasteurizing milk kills harmful bacteria, canning beans extends their shelf life, and packaging keeps food fresh for longer. These are all forms of processing that can actually benefit our health and lifestyle. The real question isn't, is it processed, but how is it processed, and what's been added or removed? Some foods are minimally processed, while others are loaded with added sugars, salt, or unhealthy fats. Reading ingredient lists and nutrition labels can help you spot the difference. Not all processed foods are created equal. A bag of pre-washed spinach is very different from a frozen pizza. One is simply cleaned and packaged for convenience, while the other may contain preservatives, artificial flavors, and extra calories. Understanding these differences helps us make smarter choices without giving up convenience. By learning what to look for, you can enjoy the benefits of processed foods, like saving time and reducing food waste, while still eating healthily. This video will help you spot the good, the bad, and the ugly in the world of processed foods. By the end, you'll know how to navigate the grocery store aisles with confidence, making choices that fit your lifestyle and support your health. Let's clarify what processed food really means. Any food changed from its original state by washing, cooking, freezing, or adding ingredients is processed. Processing isn't new. Humans have cooked, dried, and fermented food for thousands of years. Many processed foods like pasteurized milk or frozen peas are safe and nutritious. Processing exists on a spectrum from simple changes to foods that barely resemble their original ingredients. The problems usually start with foods that are highly altered and full of additives. Not all processed foods are the same, so the goal isn't to avoid them all. Instead, learn to spot the differences and make informed choices. By understanding where a food falls on the spectrum, you can welcome helpful processing and limit the harmful. Imagine walking through a grocery store, surrounded by thousands of food choices. Each item on the shelves has a story, how it was grown, harvested, and transformed before reaching your cart. When we talk about processed foods, it helps to picture them on a spectrum, ranging from foods that are barely touched to those that are completely transformed by industry. On one end, we have foods that are minimally processed, meaning they're as close to their natural state as possible. On the other, we find foods that have been heavily changed, often bearing little resemblance to their original ingredients. Minimally processed foods are those that have undergone simple changes, like washing, cutting, freezing, or canning, without much added to them. These foods are convenient, but they still retain most of their original nutrients and flavors. Think of pre-washed salad greens, bags of frozen vegetables, or plain yogurt with no added sugar or flavorings. Canned beans in water are another great example. The beans are cooked and preserved, but the ingredient list is short and simple. These foods are designed to save you time in the kitchen, making it easier to prepare healthy meals without sacrificing nutrition. They're a smart choice for busy families and anyone looking to eat well with less effort. Next, we move to moderately processed foods. These have a few added ingredients like salt, sugar, or oil to enhance flavor, texture, or shelf life. Pasta sauce is a classic example. Tomatoes are cooked down and seasoned, sometimes with herbs or a touch of sugar. Simple bread made from flour, water, yeast, and salt, or a block of cheese made from milk and cultures also fit here. These foods are still recognizable and often made from just a handful of ingredients. When you check the ingredient label, you'll usually see a short list of familiar items. This makes it easier to know what you're eating and to feel confident about your choices. At the far end of the spectrum are ultra-processed foods. These are industrial creations, often made from refined ingredients, extracts, additives, and artificial flavors. They're designed to be irresistible with bold colors, intense flavors, and a long shelf life. Examples include sugary breakfast cereals, packaged snack cakes, chips, and candy bars. These products are engineered for maximum taste and convenience, but they often lack the nutrients your body needs. Instant noodles and sodas are also ultra-processed. They're quick and easy, but they're packed with additives, preservatives, and artificial flavors that do little for your health. The more a food is changed from its original form, and the longer the ingredient list, especially with words you can't pronounce, the further it is from real, whole food. These foods may be convenient, but they're often high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. Understanding where foods fall on this spectrum empowers you to make better choices for yourself and your family. By choosing more foods that are close to their natural state, you can enjoy better health, more energy, and delicious meals every day. Ultra-processed foods are a different story from minimally processed ones. They're packed with empty calories, lots of sugar and unhealthy fats, but little nutrition. These foods are engineered to be irresistible, making it easy to overeat. They often lack fiber and nutrients, causing blood sugar spikes and crashes. Diets high in ultra-processed foods are linked to obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. These foods crowd out healthier options, making it harder to get the nutrients you need. In short, ultra-processed foods are designed for profit, not your health. Spotting ultra-processed foods is easier than you think. Check the ingredient list. Long lists with unpronounceable names are a red flag. Real foods have short lists: apples, broccoli, or chickpeas in water. Watch for additives like high-fructose corn syrup, artificial colors, and hydrogenated oils. Flashy packaging and health claims often hide unhealthy ingredients. Don't be fooled by low-fat or whole-grain labels if the ingredient list is full of additives. Shop the perimeter of the store for fresh whole foods. The inner aisles are where most ultra-processed foods live. Some healthy options are in the center, but always read the label. With practice, you'll quickly spot the foods best left on the shelf. Not all processed foods are bad, many are healthy, convenient, and affordable. The key is choosing those that are close to their natural form and low in additives. Canned tuna, beans, and tomatoes can be nutritious staples. Just watch for added salt. Frozen fruits and veggies are often more nutritious than fresh, since they're frozen at peak ripeness. Plain yogurt, kefir, and nut butters, with simple ingredients, are great choices. Whole grain bread and pasta provide fiber and energy. These foods make healthy eating easier and more realistic for busy lives. Embrace the good processed foods, they're tools, not obstacles. Focus on ingredient lists and choose products with minimal, recognizable ingredients. Smart choices in the processed aisle can support a healthy diet. In today's world, eating well can feel like a challenge. Supermarket shelves are packed with colorful boxes and bags, each promising health, convenience, or irresistible flavor. But with so many processed foods at our fingertips, how do you make choices that truly support your health and well-being? The answer is to keep it simple. Focus on eating real food. Real food is fresh, recognizable, and as close to its natural state as possible. It doesn't need a long list of ingredients or complicated packaging. Fill your plate with foods you know and trust, like vibrant fruits, crisp vegetables, hearty whole grains, eggs, and fresh fish. These foods are packed with nutrients your body needs to thrive, and they're easy to prepare in countless delicious ways. When you do buy packaged foods, take a moment to read the ingredient list. Don't be fooled by flashy health claims or buzzwords on the front of the package. The real story is in the ingredients. Try the 5-ingredient rule. If a food has more than 5 ingredients, or contains things you can't pronounce or wouldn't cook with at home, it's worth thinking twice. Simpler is almost always better for your health. Make easy swaps in your daily routine. Choose a handful of nuts instead of chips for a snack, or top plain yogurt with fresh fruit instead of reaching for sugary versions. Swap out soda for sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon or lime. These small changes can make a big difference over time. Remember, it's not about overhauling your entire diet overnight. Small, consistent changes like meal prepping healthy snacks or tracking your habits add up to big health benefits in the long run. Don't aim for perfection. Progress is what matters. Enjoy your meals, celebrate your wins, and don't stress about occasional slip-ups. Try to make most of your meals from whole or minimally processed foods. Shop the perimeter of the grocery store, visit farmers markets, and cook with fresh ingredients whenever you can. And yes, it's okay to enjoy ultra-processed treats from time to time. Just aim to make them the exception, not the rule. Savor those moments, but don't let them become your everyday habit. By focusing on real food and making smart swaps, you can enjoy the convenience of modern life while still protecting your health and feeling your best. Every day you have the power to make choices that nourish your body, support your energy, and set you up for a healthier future. Start small, stay consistent, and enjoy the journey toward eating real food in a processed world.